Today we're going to ask the question and answer it. Have the principles of success actually changed? Have the principles of success changed? And I'm excited. I'm Dan Rodgers with the Key Leadership Inc., and we are excited about what we get to talk about today. Have the principles of success ever actually changed? We can look at many different areas. We want to study history. We constantly want to be learning from history in our lives. We constantly want to be looking at people that have gone on before us and understanding what have they done differently in their life that I can do in my life today. So we want to learn there are rules first, or there are principles, okay? Do I want to live my life by a set of rules, or would I rather instead allow my life to be governed by principle? You see, because rules change. First of all, rules change with time. Rules and concepts change as time goes on. Take driving down the road, for instance. When you're driving your car down the road, you constantly want to make sure you stay between the orange line and the yellow line, the mayonnaise and the mustard concept. And that's a rule of the road, but back in the old Western days when everybody had horse-drawn carriages and cowboys came riding into town on their horses, they didn't have rules of the road like that, but they did have principles. So we understand that even before that, when even the days of Abraham and Isaac and Joseph in the Bible, they had different methods of transportation than we use today. But they all achieved a level of success in their life that if applying the principles that they used still today are still effective. The rules of the road might be different now than they used to be, but the principles have never changed. Have the principles of success ever actually changed? Let's start with the beginning. Let's look at Abraham, for instance. Abraham built a phenomenal real estate business, built a huge, massive real estate industry, and built an empire, I would argue, found tremendous success in business. You look at Joseph in the Bible, and you look at how he applied the principles of wealth accumulation in the Bible. You read the story of the richest man in Babylon, for instance. We don't know if that's a true story or not. There probably were people in Babylon at that time that no doubt had tremendous success in their life. We see it as more of a parable type story today. But you look at Warren Buffett. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Orrin Woodward, any of these, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. You study these men and women that have achieved a level of success in their life and study what principles did they follow. Probably the same exact principles that David and Goliath followed, that Abraham followed, and Joseph followed in the Bible, and Mary, and you find these people that years and years ago, thousands of years ago, that applied the same exact core principles of success. Have the principles ever actually changed? I would argue they haven't. But we have to learn in this day, today, the rules may have changed, but what are we doing to apply the principles? Are we studying the principles? Are we living in denial of the fact that somebody else who has already achieved a level of success in their life that I want in my life, are we denying the opportunity to learn from their principles that they applied just because we don't believe like they do or because of one reason or another? Instead, why don't we instead choose to learn from their principles they applied in their life? I often think to myself and try and understand this concept constantly of denying people that have built success in their life the opportunity to influence my life. Not everything they do may be up to par with what I want in my life, the results I want, but certainly everybody that's achieved any level of success in their life has done so by applying some core principles, small principles that may not be so big. Are we learning to apply those in our life? Are we studying people from history and learning that, and do we understand the concept that Steve Jobs and these men and women that have built tremendous empires, Oprah Winfrey, and these men and women that have built tremendous empires in their life today, in this day and age, most likely applied the same principles that Abraham was using in the early Bible days. And have the principles ever changed? I would say no. They certainly have not. We certainly can learn from their principles that they applied. Learn from their mistakes. Is everything in the life of Abraham what I want? No. But certainly he achieved a level of success that I would love to have in some area or another, that I can apply in sales, that I can apply in my business meeting, that I can apply in my relationships, that I can apply in my home, that I can apply in multiple areas of my life. Even while driving down the road, for instance, I can apply the principles of success in multiple areas of my life to achieve a level of success that they have already achieved. And we should constantly be looking for that, constantly be studying the principles of success. If we allow our life to be governed by principles, rather than a whole set of rules, thousands of rules, what about finding a few core principles in our life to apply and live our lives by? It would certainly make a difference, wouldn't it?